No. Okay. I think like 2 or 3 homeworks are pending for you, right? In geography.
But I remember the map a little bit. I can tell you still.
You can tell me still. Okay.
So
So can
India,
you do? Huh.
India is in the middle. Then in the west, like somewhere on top, you can say there's like Afghanistan and Pakistan.
Okay.
Then in east, I think it's Nepal.
Like northeast or east?
Like you can say northeast.
Yes. Then
Northeast, then what else? Bhutan. Then I think so. Bhutan is somewhere in south. Like I won't say south properly, but then southeast something.
I'll help you with this. Bhutan and Nepal are like brother sister.
Brother sister.
Yes. So they are attached to each other. They fight also, but they are with each other.
Yeah.
Here is Nepal. Here is Bhutan. Attached.
Then is Sri Lanka in south?
Yes.
So 4, 5. Then China. China is somewhere near like Pakistan and Afghanistan, like India. You can say north.
Yes. That's correct. And in the east, what do we have?
East, like it was Nepal and Bhutan, right?
That was in northeast.
Yeah, northeast, yeah. And east.
Exactly in east.
Which neighboring country am I left with?
So
Bangladesh.
it's
Bangladesh.
yes. Bangladesh also one more starts with M.
Myanmar.
Yes.
So, ma'am, today, like,
Yeah.
should we do history? But we have a geography class because then we'll have 2 classes of geography, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's fine. We can, we are flexible. We can do both. So tell me, Ashika, in history, is there anything left?
Yeah, ma'am. In history, there are a lot of chapters.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
we
I think for, huh.
yeah we started with a new book, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I think we started with the new book. Okay, anyways, before that, I'll just open the quiz which I told we'll play. So you guessed it correctly. But yeah, so we'll just revise that. We'll just have a quick recap and then we can start with history.
Yeah.
So I'm sharing my screen now. I hope it's visible.
Yes.
Okay.
Um, Ma'am, it's like Nepal and Bhutan. You can say Bhutan. Nepal, okay. What is the capital of India? New Delhi?
Yes. I hope you're confident with it.
A little bit. What physical feature is number 2? I think that's the Indian Ocean.
Yes.
What country is this? India. What country is this? Um, Sri Lanka? Yeah, Sri Lanka, yes. What physical feature is 6? 6 is Indus River. Because
Yeah.
Pakistan is somewhere there. What is the capital of Japan? Tokyo?
Yeah.
What physical feature is 4? 4, is it the Bay of Bengal? I don't know.
Yes, yes. It's below Bangladesh.
What are the two capitals of Sri Lanka? One, first one, and it can't be Dhaka. Dhaka is a boot. No, 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 no.
Bang- Dhaka is of Bhutan.
No, Dhaka. But ma'am, if like, how can Beijing, however you pronounce it, it's in like China or
Right.
somewhere.
So that is not there. Even Dhaka is not there because it is of
Colombo
Bangladesh.
and Colombo is also not there. But
Then
then again, so first and second because two capitals are written.
most famous one is Colombo only, but then first one I think there's a new capital.
What country is this? This looks like, I think this should be Bhutan.
So I'll help you. See, Bhutan is smaller in size. Nepal is kind of wider.
So Nepal. What country is this? Bhutan. Where's the capital of Pakistan? Islamabad. What physical feature is one? One is Himalaya Mountains. Is that Himalaya mountains or Ganges Delta?
So Ganges Delta is a place where river Ganges, Yamuna, and all of it is there, which forms a very fertile region in Uttar Pradesh, Bihar. Whereas Himalaya Mountains is like somewhere at the top in Himachal Pradesh. So
Himalaya Mountains. What country is this? This is Pakistan.
yes,
What is the capital of Taiwan? Taiwan. Shanghai. Taipei. What physical features is 3? 3 should be Deccan Plateau. What country is this? This is Bangladesh. What physical features is 5? 5 will be the Ganges Delta.
good. So now we are done with this. The last question.
Pape.
Okay. So it's 100% awesome. So let's start with history now. So
Now,
you
what
can,
have you put? I have. Why have you put
yeah.
sunglasses?
So I have put it because I couldn't find, my computer glasses. I think I've lost it and it's hurting my eyes. So I need to put it. Does it look funny?
Yeah.
Okay. There should be some humor in class anyways. So let's be funny. So in history, how many chapters are left? First, let's see that.
Um, so like right now we are on chapter 3. So like that 10 to 11 chapters means in total we're gonna be done with 3. I
That's
think
too
so.
much.
Yeah, 7 to 8
So
chapters.
is this for class 6 or is it still for class 5?
It's for class 6.
Oh, then it's fine. So even in geography, have we started for class 6?
No, that was of class 5.
Right? Okay, so I think today everything for class 5 is over, whether it be geography or history, right?
Mm, yeah, I think.
Okay. And in class 6 at your school, have you got anything?
No.
No. Okay. And this book is for IGCSE or is it for some other board?
NCRT.
NCRT. Okay. So what do you think? How much, how many chances are there that these chapters will be there for you at school?
Means like civilizations, like then archaeologists. So like in grade 5 also, like I learned about civilizations and archaeologists though, but then I think so in grade 6 if we have history then it'll be much deeper.
Okay. Okay. And even in these chapters are really lengthy, right?
Yeah, like this is of 21 pages. Not
One
all
chapter.
the chapters will be of 21 pages, but then I think some.
Okay. And this chapter will be there for you.
I don't know actually
Maybe.
because
Maybe.
yeah.
Okay. No problem. So let's continue with this. Before that, Yashika, can you also show me, the what do you call it? The index page.
Um, like in this, like this is one like a lone chapter means chapter 3. I'll show you some all of the chapters. Yeah, so like yeah, there are 11 chapters. So chapter 4, what books and burials tell us?
And do check, the pages also. How many pages are there?
Okay. In chapter 4 there are only 11.
Yeah.
Chapter 5 again 11 kingdoms, kings and an early republic. New questions and ideas 10 pages. Chapter 7.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, this is the lion capital which we learned, which I learned.
Yeah. And Ashoka is like one of my favorite kings,
Yeah, like I
rulers.
know a little bit about him. Like I have read about him a little bit in a book.
That's awesome. And could you also see, any of his episodes or series or something?
No,
I
like
think you
where
were very
is it?
small.
I've never seen. Is it on Hotstar or Amazon?
Yeah, it's not there on that. Anyway, so I'll be discussing. I have a lot of stories about him. He was like an awesome ruler India got, and he was like, if you have to categorize the rulers in grades, and you have to tell the ranking, so he's like the top, I will say, the number one ruler of India, like number one. He's that great. So we'll be studying about this chapter after we finish today's chapter. Let's do
Okay.
this. Yeah. And then we can also do this books and burials. Even that was kind of fancy. So yeah, what are the last three chapters? Four.
Why told villages thriving and towns. 12 pages. Traders, kings, and pilgrims. 12 pages.
Okay.
New empires and kingdoms.
Just scroll down a little bit. Just scroll down.
In this also they've given a little bit about I think so Ashoka.
Gupta. Yeah, yeah. Gupta dynasty, Ashoka dynasty.
Yeah, Chandragupta Maurya, I know about him.
So, okay, so what we'll do now after this Ashoka's chapter, we'll study this chapter.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. All right. So I think last one is left, no?
Yeah, this is the last one. Buildings, paintings, and books.
So let's continue.
Yeah, just what skeletal studies tell us? It is easy to make out the skeleton of a child from its small size. However, there are no major differences in the bones of a girl and a boy. Can we make out whether a skeleton was that of a man or a woman? Yes.
What do you think?
Yes.
And why yes?
Obviously, there will be some things which are different in a man and woman's body.
Yes, definitely. Bodies are definitely different. But when you look at the skeleton system, right? So it's just bones. Even men have like 206 bones. Even a girl or a woman has 206 bones, right? So then how to check? Just compare your you know just think about the bones about maybe your mother and your father. What do you think? Is there any difference? Would there be any difference in the bones,
Yeah. So,
right?
like
So
triceps, biceps, obviously.
almost there. So again, triceps and biceps is the muscles. Okay,
Okay, again I
think
went
like
on
this. Yeah,
bones. But ma'am, bones will be the same only, I think.
exactly. So bones will be again same, no? Then how will we guess, is it a boy or a girl?
Mm,
I'll ask you a question. So, have you seen your mother's hands? Just this part, just this part.
yes.
And now compare it to your father's hand. Do you feel now that your mother's bone density is way less than your father's bone density,
Yeah.
right? Also, you can compare the face, like, the bone of the face. So, even the structure is little bit different of the bone structure of the face of a girl and a boy. So, boys are like more broader in shape, or you can say more square shaped faces, whereas women generally tend to have more oval structure or circular structure, or heart shaped, like that. So this is how you can get to know, is it a boy or a girl. I hope
Yeah.
you got it.
Yes. Sometimes people decide on the basis of what is found with the skeleton. For instance, if a skeleton is found with jewelry, it it is sometimes thought to be that of a woman. However, there are problems with this. Often men also wore ornaments. A better way of figuring out the sex of a skeleton is to look at the bone structure. The hip or the pelvic area of women is generally larger to enable childbearing. These distinctions are based on modern skeletal studies. About 2000 years ago, there was a famous physician named Charaka who wrote a book on medicine known as the Charaka Samhita. There, he states that the human body has 360 bones. This is a much larger number than the 200 bones that are recognized in modern anatomy. Charaka arrived at this figure by counting the teeth, joints, and cartilage.
Yeah. So
But
is it clear?
yeah, but then why did he say 200? He should say 206.
Right, even that that is what I was thinking. Like there are, if I'm not wrong, there are 206 bones only, right?
Like when a baby is born, then something like
More.
300
Yeah, yeah.
something.
Yes.
Then when we get older, it's like 206.
Yes, yes. Even when a baby is like, I think just no, not 4 months, like 9 months old, or maybe 6 months old, his bones also become 206 only. So when
Yeah.
he's like just born, or when when he's inside his mom, at that time he has like many bones, but once he is out, and then maybe within few months, 3, 4 or 6 months, he gains, just like he has now only 206 bones.
Yeah, even like people say, like when a baby is born, like his neck is not properly, like bones are not so
Yeah, yeah,
proper.
yeah, exactly. Everything is kind of hanging in a vague manner. It's not very proper exactly, because his bones structure and all is very different, because he has so many bones, and that's why all those bones are very weak also. So when they combine with each other, that's when the bones become strong. Hence, people say that hold the baby very properly, the neck area especially, they say, because if you don't hold the baby properly, especially from the neck and the feet area, so might be he can have a bone deformity, which he would carry in future also. So have you noticed, like, people, they carry the babies from the neck, like the head area, when they are carrying the babies,
I think so, one or two times maybe.
right? So they do it again so that his bone structure is does not get in improper shapes.
Yeah.
So yeah, so what they are saying here, that 2000 years ago in India only, this physician was there. So again, who is a physician? A person who looks after your bones especially. So today also, like, we have so many physicians, right? So yeah, so he's not a physicist, he's a physician, meaning he takes care of your body, especially the bones, muscles, cartilages, right? So is
Yeah.
this clear?
Yes.
Yeah. So next, what they are saying, his name was Charak, and he wrote a book on medicine, specially, where he stated that human body had 360 bones. So this is a much larger number than 200 bones as we know it today, modern. That means he's also saying that, maybe that time people actually had more bones. Maybe they actually had 360 bones. But at the same time, what today we feel is that he actually combined cartilages with joints, with teeth, and combined everything and called it as bones. So this is how he came to a figure of 360.
Yeah.
So how do you think he found about the human body in such a great detail?
By checking a body of a dead person.
Yes, even a live person. So since he was a physician, I think he was into, this field. He was checking daily basis. Maybe, people would be coming to him for medicines. They might be having joint pains or, something like that, muscle pain, etc. So that's how he understood the human body in great detail, and he wrote the book Charak Samhita.
Yeah.
We discussed this, no, occupations at Inamgaon.
Occupation then Inamga. I'm hearing the word Inamga for the first time.
We have just scroll up. We have discussed Inamgaon. Yeah.
Okay.
See, right?
Yes.
So yes, so we were discussing about the special burial at it. Like, the special chief who has like 5 rooms, entire house only is given to that chief to bury him, right? So
Yeah.
that was a special burial at a place called Inamgaon. So now we'll understand what are the occupations of people at Inamgaon. So since Inamgaon was in India, hence archaeologists have found so many crops like wheat, barley, rice, etc., which we even use today, right? And bones of a number of animals, many bearing cut marks that show they may have been used for food, right? So have also been found again. Cattle is found, buffalo is found. So all these animals have cut marks on their body, meaning they would be used, for eating. So people were again non-vegetarian at that time also. Goat, sheep, etc. Sambar. So why is it written sambar? Is sambar an animal?
Where is it written? Oh, somebody's include
So
Sambar. I'll search on Google.
yeah, just do it.
Sambar animal. There is one animal called as Sambar deer, but then in his name there is no H.
Okay, it's just sambar, like
Uh,
sambar.
I'll show it to you. Yeah.
Okay, I think it's the same. Just type sambar deer India. Yeah, it is there in India also. So this is what is called as sambar. And also, in his name, like they have written the name in italics. It
Italics.
seems like, yeah, just check the PDF.
Um, no, ma'am.
Yes, they have. The word sambar is written in italics. Like they have focused it as if it is something special. It is italics, no?
But I no, it's the same, ma'am.
It is italics. See,
But
it's kind of little bit right side tilted,
oh, okay, like that thing. Okay.
right?
Yeah.
No? Yeah, so this is italics, like, kind of tilted right side. So yeah, even they have made its name as italics. They want to focus as something special. So yeah, even it's written with spotted deer, black buck. So all these deers and all belong to the same family, right? So even sambar belongs to their family, hence they have written it along with the deers and all. So all these animals were also found there. Even crocodile was found. So that means people used, these animals for food. That's
Yeah.
horrible, no? So then there is also evidence of fruits like bur, amla, jamun, dates, etc.
Yeah.
And a variety of berries were collected.
Yeah.
So hence, yeah,
Like whenever I read something, these things are always there. Like there's no paneer, cheese. I've never heard about that.
yes, because no, India again. So ancient India or modern India, we are great producers of wheat, barley, etc., crops, especially because we are agriculture country, right? But if we have to talk about paneer and cheese, so the concept of cheese, I'm not really sure if it came from, this Kanha ji, because like in the in the I don't know what it is called. Like right now, Kalyug is going on. Before that, I think it was some Dwapar Yog. Yeah. So in that, I think 10,000 years ago, I'm talking about 20,000 or 10,000 years ago. So at that time, even Krishna ji was the one who started with milk, cheese, ghee, butter, etc., etc. But then I'm not really sure if cheese came even from there. That means cheese has come from America only. They are the people who started cheese and all. Whereas butter came from India, but then again, this is all milk products, no? And we are a country who is focused more on crops and not on dairy that much. So if you remember Varghese Kureen Amul,
Yeah.
right? So he was the one who started it all in India. Started production of milk and all. Because before that, people were not using, milk as a like you could not see milk packets in the market. If you were at that time and if you were drinking milk, mostly you would have it in your house only. There were no sellers of milk at that time. So I'm talking about 1990s or somewhere. India, every home, I think they had cows, buffaloes, etc. So hence nobody bought it as such from the market. So there was no need of commercializing, dairy products. But then once it all started, once Varghese Kureen started Amul in India, even other brands came along with it. And then it's not just limited to milk now. We get so many stuffs, right? Like cheese and whatnot, whatever we love.
Yeah.
So hence, we don't see these occupations at Inamgaon or any other place.
Yes.
So like, do you like cheese and all?
Yeah.
What is your favorite dairy product?
Mine is milk and cheese. I love everything. Means I like ghee, I like oil, I even like milk, cheese, butter. I like everything. But then nowadays I don't eat, otherwise I'll increase my weight again.
And it's also lockdown, no? That's why
Yeah,
we are
last time
not going out.
a lot.
Even right now, like I'm at my home in Varanasi, and here, um, the milk and all is really good because UP, even Ahmedabad, the milk is really good there. So you will get awesome products here. But then my mama, like I when I was in Bangalore at that time, I had like gained a lot of weight last year. So this time my mama is like, no cheese for you, and only if you want you can take yogurt or curd. That's all. So it's
Yeah.
limited now, but I miss eating cheese.
Again, like from 2 to 3 days, I again started eating cheese.
You cannot resist, no?
Yeah, like after
I'm
more
getting
than a
feeling.
year, I'm eating, like it's been after a year, I'm eating cheese.
Oh, then it's fine. Then it's fine. So, when I was there in Bangalore, like every day, because I was not living with my family, even half of my family is there. So I was not living with them, no. So I was living in like kind of a flat hostel type of area. So there was no food only. And if you go to South India, the food is pathetic. You cannot eat it. So daily I had to order from Domino's, etc. And it was so much cheese there then that finally even I decided no more cheese for me. But
Yeah.
then you cannot resist it. If
Yeah.
you have it, you won't resist it. So yes.
Now, did you lose weight? Did you ever increase your weight or like you were the same?
So no, like right now I'm back and I here like I have decreased like I think 2 kgs or something. I didn't weight it. I have to get weighted. But then yes, it's better. It's much better than Bangalore. So there it was too much.
Yeah. Elsewhere. Find China in your atlas. Around 3,500 years ago, we find some of the first evidence of writing in China. These writings were on animal bones. These are called oracle bones because they were used to predict the future. Kings got scribes to write questions on the bones. Would they win battles? Would the harvest be good? Would they have sons? The bones were then put into the fire and they cracked because of the heat. Then fortune tellers studied these cracks and tried to predict the future. As you may expect, they sometimes made mistakes. These kings lived in palaces and cities. They amassed vast quantities of wealth, including large, elaborately decorated bronze vessels. However, they did not know the use of iron.
So it's interesting, no? They used it for, I think it's kind of like maybe magic or something that the fortune teller saw the cracks, studied the cracks in the bone, and then telling what will be next for you,
Yeah.
right? So, but then again, just imagine how on the bones of animals they would be incarving something like maybe the this animal is dying or they're you know killing the animal, taking out its bone and then writing. It's kind of horrible, no?
Yeah.
So we Indians, like here, if you see, we have been really good people. Again, after seeing the occupations of Inamgaon, I'm little bit stuck. But then yes, we are like really good humans since the beginning. We have done least violence with anyone, any country, any animal. Hence, this was the reason why even with the Britishers we could survive. So even if you see, just like for example Mahatma Gandhi, even he followed this path of non-violence, right? But then everywhere else they are writing on bones of animals. And that day you had asked me about, I think, did you ask me about shells one day?
Sure.
Cowrie shells,
Yeah.
right? So in India, again, these fortune telling, this all started, I think, from here only in Asia, whether it be China or India. Even in India, it used to take place, fortune telling. But the people used to use cowrie shells for it. So again, what they did was very simple. Let's say there's a king, and he has come for his fortune telling. So whoever is the fortune teller, he'll just carry like 8 cowrie shells along with him or her. Then he'll ask the kings any like whatever let's say he's asking, next, will I win this battle, upcoming battle? So then this cowrie person will just mix up all the shells with, and then some energy or something, and then I don't know. Then they used to like on the floor. Then they used to decorate the cowrie shells, and then they used to read it. So that's how even they did fortune telling in India.
Yeah.
So list one difference between Raja of the Rig Ved and these kings. I think we have not done Rig Ved, right?
But then we've done a little bit of Rig Veda, that Yajur Veda, Rig Veda, right?
So yes, if you remember, then well and good. So you can tell any one difference between Raja and these kings of
So
China.
these things so these kings take care like of like the wars, then whatever is happening in their palaces. And the Rigvedaraj is like someone who is like writing, not like taking care of like wars then of the palace, only like writing.
Okay. And one more thing to notice here. So when we studied about Raja, I hope you remember Raja was not any king. Like Raja was not someone whose son will also be a Raja. He was just given this position by the people that okay, you are the person who is going to manage all of us. That's all. And yes, as you told, win battles, so no wars were there. People were good enough. And then after this Raja was died, then some other Raja was put into the Raja position, some other person. Not necessary he was the son of this Raja. But again, this was not there with these kings. So if it is a king, his son is going to be the next king, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So imagine now.
You live in Inam, girl, 3,000 years ago, and the chief has died last night. Today, parents are preparing for the burial. Describe the scene, including how food is being prepared for the funeral. What do you think would be offered? Obviously, food will be offered.
And
Then, then they will make me the chief because the chief died, and they need a new chief.
and they feel Yashika is the best candidate after
No,
this.
I should be a king, but then for now, I'm a chief.
Okay. Yes, they will make you because you can properly handle them, no?
Yeah.
All right. And for the tribute, what else will the new king Yashika or the new chief Yashika will offer to the previous chief apart from food?
Some maybe 1,000 rupees.
Yes, actually, you can do that. So that's what they did, all jewelry, all animals to pay homage to the person who is dying, right? So if at that time they had money, like right now we have money, like that, even that time they would have paid like thumbs in or whatever. So yes, that can be done. That's a nice imagination. Quick revision now. These are the keywords. So what you have to tell, just quickly describe all of it in one line.
One line.
Like Veda, one line, language, one line, hymn, one line, like that.
Okay, so Veda is something we can read. Then language is people speak.
Okay. So in this chapter, did we discuss about language families?
Yes.
Okay. And do you remember any one of them?
Indo-European Dwardian family.
Dravidian.
Yeah,
Yes.
Dravidian family.
Okay. Okay. And Veda, can you name any one or two of them?
Yeah, Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Samaveda, and
Atharva Veda.
Atharva Veda. Yes.
Then him.
I forgot him.
So if you remember, these people were scientists. They were very intelligent. They never wrote any books. Instead, they chose hymns so that people will not get bored by reading.
Like that singing thing which you were telling me.
Yes.
And chariot is like a horse, so like people sit behind the horse.
It's a horse-drawn cart or a vehicle, right? Which is drawn by the horse.
Yes. Then sacrifice is like killing someone
Yes,
or
yes. Killing
animal.
animals. Yes, yes.
Then Raja is like so group of people make one person a Raja, not that type of Raja, but then who
Yes,
can
yes.
take
That
care of
is.
everything.
Yes, that's correct.
And slave is a person who works. Like if the king says get me water, then he'll get water.
Yes.
Make
Then megalith.
it's something to read.
Mm-mm. Neolith.
Neolith, then Paleolithic,
Paleolithic.
neo something neo. Yeah, one
Lith.
more.
So what was lith?
Ages, all ages, Stone Age,
Stone age. Yes. And what is the meaning of mega?
Mega,
Mega, general terms, I have a mega ship. So what does it mean?
big. You can say like something big,
Yes, exactly. So what is the meaning of megalith then?
big Stone Age.
Exactly. So an age where the stones were really big, right?
Yeah, and we also saw like the pictures of it.
Yes, correct.
Then burial is like after someone dies, put him somewhere,
in
hide
the
him.
crematory or somewhere. So that is, yeah, even in his home, etc.
Yeah. Skeletal is the body, like it gives us a shape to our body.
Yes. So is it just the bones of the body?
Bones of the body.
I hope you have seen a skeletal. It's very terrifying,
Yeah.
right? So it's just white bones of the body, right? Nothing else.
Yes.
Hence, even we cannot distinguish between a men's skeletal and a women's skeletal, right?
Yes. Then
Then
other
last,
one is something like steel kind of something.
it's which kind of something?
Steel.
Steel. Okay. So is it like an element or a mineral, I can say?
Mineral.
Or good. So next, oh, revision. That's awesome. Let's start.
Chariots are used in battles, right?
Yes.
A megalith is stone boulder.
Yes.
Dasa is a slave.
Yes. Yagya or yajna.
Sacrifice.
Yes.
Sukta is well said. Complete these sentences. Slaves were used for work.
Mm, okay. So what you can do, just let's have a quick revision of the chapter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, from here.
From here, oh, before that, there's another chapter.
Like I think so in this book there are like two chapters.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So for Harappa, did we do any exercises?
Yeah, for Harappa, these were the questions.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So we discussed about Sanskrit and other languages. We discussed that Sanskrit, Gujarati, Hindi, etc. So all these belong to Indo-European, right? India plus Europe. Then next we discussed about other Asian languages, right? Like English, French, etc. So yeah, so they belong to, again, this was just Asian family or the European family. So next we discussed about Dravidian family,
Yeah.
which is your Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayali, etc. Right?
Yeah.
Then we also discussed about the Northeast belt, which is like, Chinese looking people. So it is in India only, but then it is Northeast. It's really different. You cannot even recognize the single word what they speak. So it is Tibeto-Burman family. Why Burman is very simple, because Myanmar was previously called Burma or Burma. So hence it is Tibeto-Burman family. The Northeast Chinese looking people in India, they speak this language. And then, yeah, and then last, Austro-Asiatic, which is the middle people like Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand. So these people speak this language, which is Austro-Asiatic. So these were the families we discussed. Then next we discussed about Rigved. Yeah. So in the Rigved, many hymns. So Rigved is entirely written in hymns only, hymns form, right? So some hymns were also, so yeah, what hymns denoted or depicted? They depicted stories, they depicted dialogues, they depicted, again, in the form of poems. People used to understand so many concepts, right? So it was there was a dialogue written by Vishwamitra, which was a conversation between two rivers, right? And then also there was one, I think there was a dialogue box after this, in which the conversation between Vishwamitra and rivers in living in the glaciers was shown. When he was calling the rivers that, oh rivers, please come down. Don't be just in the form of ice. Flow on land in the form of water. Remember?
Yeah.
Right. So just scroll down. Yeah, this was one of the manuscript from Rigved.
And
So
Vishwamitra.
yes, so Vishwamitra is discussing here with the rivers that, oh river, please come down to us. Don't just stay there at the top in the form of ice or glacier, right? And then the river is saying, and he's not just calling one river, he's calling sisters of rivers, right? Because rivers, they flow in branches and they are sisters, right? It's not just a single river that will come out. So that is what even he is saying, oh sisters, please come down, right? At last they say, okay, we will start, but then if we start, you cannot stop us. So then what to do? So then Vishwamitra said, oh sisters, please, come in a controlled way. Don't come too much that even I cannot cross this border with my chariot, right? So come in a controlled way. Then that's how rivers agreed, and then that's how we finally see today Ganga river is there, Saraswati in this, etc. Then next, yeah. So we discussed about cattle, horses, chariots, right? So people at that time, they were mainly dependent upon cattle for so many purposes, for what do you call it? For commercial purposes. Then also, yeah. So even they used cattle on their land to grow crops, right? Then next so this all was written. It was mentioned in Rigved. And then horses were used for battles, right? Chariots were used for battles. Then different crops like barley, wheat, etc. So this was discussed in Rigved. Apart from it, yeah. So apart from it, it's shown like some of the wealth was obtained by leaders, some with priests, and the remaining wealth was distributed among people. So this shows that even at that time there was societal classes, differences in different classes of the society. There was a priest class, was the Brahmin class, then next was the Kshatriya class, right? So like this, it was there. So the wealthiest of the people performed all the yajnas and sacrifices, right, for gods and goddesses, where they offered animals along with ghee and grain. Like in few cases, animals were sacrificed, in other cases, only crops were sacrificed. Even today, we do it, right? Then we like, if we are having a yajna or a yagya or a havan, in that we put like ghee and other crops, right? So that is a sacrifice. Then next we discussed that battles took place in which men took part, right? Skillful warriors, brave warriors were there. And then next, yeah. So yeah, again we saw how a raja was. So in Rigveda, a raja was described. So he was not someone who was like a king. He was someone who was chosen by the people there, right? And it was not compulsory that his son will be the next king, right? He was nothing like a king. He didn't collect the taxes from the people. He just took care of them. That's all. He just managed and controlled the people. That's all. So he did not had a capital, no city, no palace, no army, nothing, right? So yeah. Then next, yeah. Then we discussed about few words like jana. So jana is used for public. Then we also discussed about wish. Do you remember the word wish?
Wish, yeah.
Don't
Wish.
say it's venom. What is it?
I always remember snake, but then that's not true like in before.
Yeah.
But mm,
So here you can check, it's written already.
Puru Jana or Wish, Yadu Jana or Wish, Bharata Jana or Wish.
So it stands for Vashya.
Wish.
So, right? So Vashyas were those people who did business. Business class was Vashya class that time. Okay.
Yeah.
Then next, even dasas or dasyus, right? So when Aryans came and captured India, they made the Indian people as their das or dasyus,
Yeah,
right?
that's
And
the Sa.
huh, exactly. So the female were dasis, right? So later, what happened? You can see that yeah. So slaves were often captured in war. They were treated as the property of the owner who can make them do whatever work they wanted, right?
Yeah.
Then, yeah. So while this Rigved was just composed for the northwest part of India, but again, there were other developments in other regions also. Like the Rigveda just described the life of people in northwest of India, like Gujarat, Rajasthan, Pakistan, etc. But then other places of India, like northeast or south, other changes were going on, but it is not described in Rigveda. So now we'll understand what were the changes at other places. So that takes us to the story of megaliths, right? The big boulders, the big stones. So these stones were arranged carefully to mark the burial sites.
Yeah.
And this practice of putting big stones started 3,000 years ago. So this was in all throughout Deccan, that is South India, and also in Northeast India, right? Northeast, Bengal, then your Assam and all, and then also the Kashmir area, the north area. So some important megalith sites are there in this image. You can see. Then in map 2 on page 13 again. Uh, so yeah, so archaeologists found that it was like this, a circle of large stone boulders around, standing on the ground. All these rocks are in standing positions, right? And then there were burials inside it in the mid. So yeah, so there were several things people did to make megaliths, right? They digged the pits in the earth, they transported the stones, they broke the boulders, placed the stones in position, and then finally bury the dead. So then next, all these burials have so many things, like people were given tools, weapons, and sometimes jewelry, right? Even skeletons of horses, meaning what? Even a horse was buried along with his owner, right? So even ornaments of horses are also found, like stone and gold. So this was all about the burial there. Then if there was a chief, being buried, so you can just scroll down. He was buried in a grand way. So yeah, also there was few burial spots for certain families, right? So yeah, like they used to mark, okay, this burial site is for this family, every member of this family will be buried on this place here. Then if someone was rich, more area was given to him or her. If someone was not that rich, less burial site was given to him. That's all. Then yeah, so these things are found, gold beads, stone beads, copper bangles, all kinds of jewelries are found along with the skeleton. That suggests that this was some special person, because not with everybody's skeleton these jewelry items are found, only with few of them it's found. So it suggests that that this person maybe was the king or the queen of the area, right? The raja, like that. So few people were rich, they were chiefs, so they were also given so many stuffs along with their burial. That's how we come to know that this burial is of a king or this burial is of some common man. Then that takes us to a special burial at Inam Gaon, right? Just scroll down. Yeah. So in this burial, there was just one single man, which was buried inside an entire large 5-roomed house. Right. So an entire house was given to his burial. That means he was some kind of chief. Right. And his body was placed in cross-legged position. It was like paying great respect to the body. That suggests that it was kind of chief's body of that place.
Yeah.
Right. Then next, yeah. So from here we studied today what skeletal studies tell us, right? Um, Again, if it's a girl, her pelvic area bone will be more. Even her face, bones will be different. Her hands bone density, even legs bone density will be really less, whereas bones are really heavy and kind of large in size. Then, yeah, so there was someone like Charak who made the Charak Samhita, in which he wrote people had total of 360 bones, because there he included not just the bones, he also included the cartilages, muscles, etc., the teeth and all. Then, but he did this like 2000 years ago, which was like great achievement at that time, because right now we have x-rays to see how many bones are there, but that time there was nothing like x-rays. At that time calculating the number of bones is a great achievement. Then next we discussed about the occupations at Inamgaon, right? People had again, it is a land of agriculture, so people had all types of agriculture, like your wheat, barley, etc. Even for food, not just crops were used, but also animals were used. How we know it is very simple. These animals are found with cuts, with cut marks on their body, which tells us that these animals were used for food. And then also few fruits are found, evidences are found, like for berries, amla, jamun, bur, etc., dates and all. Then next we discussed about, yeah, also in China there was some oracle bone something, right? Oracle bones where animal bones were taken, and on the top of it and carvings were made, right? And then people used to put fire to it, and then the bones used to get cracks. That's how people used to do fortune telling for the kings and other people. That's all. Then finally we discussed about few of the keywords, and that's a wrap up for the chapter. Yeah, so now you can answer.
Slaves were used for like work. Still like how? Okay, I'll explain it in a long answer, little.
It's
So
fine, you can just say like, slaves were used for all types of work,
all types of work, yeah.
because it's not fill in the blanks, no, complete the sentences.
Yeah.
Right.
And megaliths are found in old stone ages.
Megalith, it's an area with large stone, with big stone, right? Again, it is also a time where um, stones were large, are found in, what else can we write here instead of writing old stone age? Can we write a name of the place or something like Inamgaon,
Yeah, in
northwest, like that?
yes.
Oh,
Stone circles of boulders on the surface we used to.
just give me 1 minute. Yeah,
Sure.
just carry on the question. Just give me 1 minute. Yeah. So yeah. Then stone circles or boulders on the surface were used to.
Like remove the stones because the stones were very big.
Okay. Were they not used to bury the dead bodies?
But why would they use to you? Why would they use this to bury the dead bodies?
They
Out.
made a circle, right, on the surface.
Yeah, that circle thing. Yes.
So then why they make the circle? That's
Mm,
the question.
so that they can bury.
The body,
No.
then.
So,
So yes, like they used it for as burial site to
yeah.
bury the body. Then potholes were used for
Those small holes used for
used for
used for.
check scroll up, find it. It's there only. Yeah.
These indicate that people perhaps belonging to the same family were buried in the same place, though not at the same time. The bodies of those who died later were brought into the grave through the potholes.
So then why was it used? Pothole.
It was used because so that they could know the like how to put the body inside because they had to put it in the same grave.
Exactly. That's correct. So can we say like this? Potholes were used to bury the family members who died later.
Yeah.
So next, what do we have?
Wheat, barley, millet, pulses. People at Anamga ate barley, wheat, pulses, millet, then non-veg like crocodile, sambar, deer.
Yes. Also, you can write about fruits, berries, jamun, amla,
Yeah.
ripe burr, etc. Okay. So next we have few questions here. In what ways are the books we read today different from the Rig Veda? What do you?
Rigveda. So it's something. Okay, like the now the stories are like normal, like exciting, very exciting, fun. I won't say Rigveda is boring, but then it's something. If I feel like it's a little bit of puja type.
Puja type, yes. Actually, the thing is that when the word Ved comes to our mind, we think it is something related to puja and stuff like that. So yes, even the Vishwamitra calling the sisters and the rivers, right? So let's understand it like this way. The Rig Veda had everything in the form of hymns. That means right now, students, like, maybe you love to read, you love to study, right? But not every child does that, right? People, I have heard this from my friend. So there's one of my friend, she used to tell me that, whenever she felt not like sleeping, she wants to sleep, but then she's not feeling like sleeping, what she'll do, she'll just open a book, she'll just see it, and then she'll fall asleep, meaning what, she gets so bored reading the books. So it's like that. Nowadays, books are really boring because they are not in the form of songs. People cannot sing them, right? But Rig Veda was in the form of hymns. People could sing the song in the entire day. It was super fun, and that's what people did, right?
Yeah.
So that's why the Rig Veda thing is entirely different from the books that we see today.
Yes.
But any day you will find it exciting and interesting because you love to study and read, right?
Reading. I don't like reading books.
See, even you don't like it. So if it was in the form of, songs where you don't have to read anything, you just have to listen and sing it. Maybe hum it in your mind only. No need to sing only. Just listen the song. So wasn't it way better than reading a book?
Yeah.
Right? So listening to song any day is better than reading a book. This is how Rigveda was.
Yeah. What kind of evidence from burials do archaeologists use to find out whether there were social differences amongst those who are buried?
Yes, very simple. How they identified who was rich, who was poor. That's all.
Because, okay, with the jewelry and like, if they were kings, they used to kill the slaves also, so that
Exactly.
after life, if like they thought like with the afterlife, they can take care of the king.
Yes, exactly. Even animals and all.
Yeah. In what ways do you think that the life of a Raja was different from that of a Dasa or Dasi? It was very different. A Raja was like very free. Like, I won't say free, he also has many duties. But then Raja did not follow anyone. But then Dasa
Yes.
and Dasi had to follow the Raja.
Yes, and they were like kind of slaves.
Yes, like workers. Yeah.
Yes.
Find out whether your school library. I don't know. Write down a short poem or song that you have memorized.
This you can do as a homework activity. You can just write a short poem.
Yeah. Correct where the people were described in terms of the work they did
You have
and
to
the
make this table in this question. You have to just fill the name of six people you know. Choose three men and three women. And then for each of them, just mention, their work, the language in which they speak, and anything extra, any remarks. That's
yeah.
all.
Yes.
All
Done.
right. So, anything, any questions, any doubts?
No, ma'am.
All right. So in the next class, we'll start with Ashoka the Great.
Yeah.
All right. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.